Hello YouTube! It's me again. Sorry, I've recorded this video on the same day I recorded my top 10 part 2. Anyway, this is episode 16 of... Yes! It's episode 16, 2008 of Back to My Future. Wow, we're coming so close to the end of these. 8 more episodes. Oh. So, considering it's New Year's, I'm adding more to these last couple of episodes. After New Year's, it's going back to 3 movies per video. But because it's New Year's, I chose 6 incredible movies that came out in 2008. Now, I went through the whole list of movies that came out. If some of the dates that I give may seem incorrect to you guys, I'm reading from a professional site that tells me when these movies first came into cinemas. It does not specify whether it was the US, the UK, or wherever. It just says first released in on this date. So whether it's not the UK or the US or Australia or anywhere, I'm just writing down when they first got released in cinemas. So please understand that that's what this is. Now, let's begin with one movie that I've never talked about properly, and I think I should have really. On April 18th, we was shown this movie known as Pathology. Now, Pathology stars an actor that was from Heroes, who played Peter Petrelli. He was this doctor who moved to a certain city in America, and he was working as a doctor or a nurse intern. And what happens? He met this group of people who worked in the same morgue as him, and they liked his intelligence when diagnosing a body. So what they've done is they told him to meet them at the hospital at a certain time at night. And when he went there, there was a dead body on a table in a morgue. And the leader of their group, who I know this actor's name and I'll put a picture here of his face. I don't know who he is or what his name specifically is, but I know he's one of those faces you want to slap. But he comes out with these group of the people and goes, how about we play this little game thing? And what they do is they make this little group of people. Every week, one member of their group will kill someone in a certain way, and then the rest of the team have to guess how the person died. And things start going weird from that point to where Peter Petrelli's character starts really, really hating this group. He falls in love with them and thinks they're awesome, but then just things start going bad where he really hates them and wants to seek revenge. So, Pathology is a horror movie that I watched years ago, which I can never watch again due to my messed up heart, but I'm glad I did watch it because it was a very fun and exciting horror movie, and it was different. I like Saw, don't get me wrong, Saw's good, but that's like that whole do you want to play a game thing, and it's you have to try and do these puzzles and quizzes to get out. Whereas this is just a group of friends who will kill random people on the street and then make you guess how they did it to see how intelligent you are. So, it was different, it was unique, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the thought that was put into it, and I thought that was great. Okay, so moving on from that movie. By the way, if you want to watch that movie, go and check it out, it's friggin' awesome. Alright, so, on June 27th, Disney gave us Wally. Oh, what a great, incredible... I used to give Wally some shit. Because, as far as I'm concerned, it's Disney's ripoff of Short Circuit. And for those who think that I don't know many classical movies, Short Circuit. Johnny Five is alive. No. Johnny Five is freaking awesome. All he wanted was input. Lots of input. He freaking deserved it. Bless him. But I thought it was like a Disney's interpretation of Wally. But the story was amazing. The romance behind two machines was incredible. how he just felt like he needed to protect Eve. Wally. I didn't do that. Sorry. Yeah. So, but he had to feel like he protected her, and that he had to guard her. And her duty was just to come to Earth and try and find some little glimmer of hope that they could regrow grass and food and crops to make Earth safe again for the humans to live on. Just a very touching, emotional story. Definitely one of Disney's best, and Pixar's, one of their best movies to exist. Then on July the 1st, we got Hancock. Now, people are probably going to go in the comments below and go, oh, that was a big part of the poo. It depends on what you look at. As a standalone hero movie, was it great? No! Of course it wasn't. But I didn't look at it as a standalone hero movie. I saw it for what it was, and it was the worst tragic love story to exist. Think about it. These two superhuman beings are the only two left of their kind. They're supposed to live the rest of their lives together, but they can't, because every time they get close together, they lose their powers. And every time they get close together, people try and kill them, so they have to separate in order to survive. Imagine how shitty that must be. Oh, you can be immortal, but guess what? If you love someone so much, you have to spend the rest of your life without them. Otherwise, you will die of old age. Imagine someone saying, look, you can live the rest of your life young, healthy, you can fly, super strength, but you can never touch, hold, or see the person you love again because you'll lose your powers. They'll just fade away. That sucks. That's terrible. That's not a great way to have that power. So I look at it from that point, and from that point, it's a freaking unbelievable movie. Will Smith did he played himself, which is what he does best. It worked for Deadshot, it worked for Hitch, and it definitely works for Hancock. Alright, then July 18th, the best DC Batman movie to exist. The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's Joker. I say this as often as I can because I keep getting confused between Batman Begins and Batman Dark Knight. Because before Dark Knight existed, before that came out, I was a huge fanboy of Batman Begins. I thought Batman Begins was the best Batman movie to exist. But then watching Heath Ledger's sadistic Joker made me realize how much more I love that movie compared to others. So, yes, Dark Knight was just one of Christopher Nolan's best movies he's done. But I'd say better than Inception, and I'm a huge Inception fan. I love that movie. But it was awesome. Right. These last two movies are two comedies, and they're two of the best comedies I saw in 2008. July 25th. Step Brothers. It's so much. You know what? These guys are like me and my best friend. We are like this throughout, like, literally we are the same amount of childishness between us as, like, literally the most dumbest falling out, dumbest arguments, like he'd get in a huff if he lost at Call of Duty, to the point where he'd sit there with his hood up and go, whatever, and I'd get pissed off if he wouldn't talk, so I'd kick him out of my house, and then he'd call me like an hour later, and we'd be laughing our heads off, saying it was stupid. He'd come back over, and then the same thing would happen again. It's like he'd borrow my stuff, and then like we'd have a falling out. Like, come and bring it here. He's like, no, you have to meet someone else to get it. Or I'd borrow something of his, and I was like, you have to come here to get it. No, you have to meet someone else to get it. That childishness friendship thing, like, we're so much like brothers. It's unbelievable. So watching that was definitely relatable to me and my life with my friend. But it's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly at their best. Plus, I love the guy that plays their dad. You friggin' jagaloons! You're failures! Failures! By the way, if you've seen Step Brothers and you know the dad that I'm talking about, You gotta watch a film. I'm gonna put the picture here. It's called Say It Isn't So. It's awesome. It's awesome. Right. Enough about Step Brothers. Next, it's the last movie of this episode. December 19th. Yes Man. Now, as comedies go and as Jim Carrey's great, this is one of the biggest hidden message movies ever. Well, I say hidden message, but it's not really a hidden message. But no one looks for the meaning of this movie. So it technically is hidden. It's about the fact that a guy that's just so dull. I mean, he sounds like me. He'd rather sit indoors and just watch movies than go out and do anything else. Like, he'd go to work, but he'd wish he'd be at home watching movies. He didn't really want to be there. He didn't feel comfortable. He'd given most of his life to his work, and he was getting nowhere in it. Until this guy comes along and gives him a pamphlet to this Yes Man symposium, and says that he has to go and check it out. And when he does, he meets Terrence Stamp, who says, just say yes to everything. Just say yes. As soon as someone says something, just say yes. So he does it. He takes literally a homeless guy asks if he can have a lift in his car. So he says, yep, sure, get in. The homeless man asks if he can borrow his phone. Says yes. He asks, could he have $20? He goes, yeah. And then he makes a joke and says, oh, you got a lot there. Can I have it all? Ha ha ha. And because he thinks he has to say yes, he goes, sure. And like gives the whole amount to the guy. And then he does this throughout the whole film. He meets a lovely woman, does all these amazing things. But then he realizes that saying yes to everything and doing everything, as exciting for his life as it started getting, had its consequences. Something bad happens and it goes wrong from there. And then he realizes that you only have to say yes to things from the beginning until you realize that you don't always have to say yes and you don't always have to say no. There is an equal balance. And I'm sorry that I'm showing so much enthusiasm for this movie, but I think that it's got so much intelligence behind a comedy that it is one of the best comedies of 2008. It definitely is. So yeah, this is the episode 16, 2008, Back to My Future. There was a couple of other movies on this list, such as Death Race with Jason Statham, which I love, and Jumper with Christian Hayden, which I also enjoyed. But they got struck off the list just because these other 6 movies I thought were more important to this thing, to this episode. So yeah, next Saturday it will be a new year, it'll be 2017. But it will be episode 17 of 2009, and I know a lot of great movies came out in 2009, so I'm looking forward to doing those. Anyway, that is the end of this video, and I'm pretty sure I've got all the videos covered for this weekend. I've done the top 10 Blu-rays part 2, I've done the pickups, I've done the collection updates, and now I've done the Back to My Future, so that's all the videos covered for this weekend. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy this video, and you do enjoy these other videos of Back to My Future that I make, please show your support by clicking that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to strike the like for future videos, and I will see you next time.